Good afternoon, everyone. We're going to start the session now. Firstly, I just wanted to say a big thank you to everyone who has chosen to spend the next 25 minutes with us. We are ending towards the day 2 of eCom, and you've probably heard a lot of fantastic content so far, but really appreciate you taking that moment with us. I'm Michaela, this is Dave. We'll introduce ourselves properly in a moment, but if you hadn't noticed, we have a booth to the right of me. If you want to have a deeper conversation or really have any deeper questions around what we cover today, please come visit us if you haven't done so already. We'd love to have a chat. We also have some incredible demonstrations at our booth as well, where we can dive into our POS and other areas of the platform in a little bit more detail. So with that, Dave, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. Hi, I'm Dave. Really happy to be here. I work as a staff solutions engineer at Shopify. So I spend most of my time building solutions for merchants to set them up for long-term success. And I'm really lucky I get to work with some amazing brands like Gymshark, Fiori, Belstaff, Astra de Mayu, and many, many more.
Excellent, thanks, Dave. And I have the pleasure of my team, of which Dave is one of the amazing members of, being part of the solution engineering team here at Shopify. Essentially, we really work closely with businesses to make sure that when they move to Shopify, that's going to fuel the growth that they're looking to see. And that when we do that, it's a partnership which is based in value. So with that point around value in mind, we wanted to be really clear with the takeaways that you can get from this session today. The first being a little bit of a moment to touch upon customer expectations. This is one of the things that is really, I think, making businesses look at their strategy and adopt something called unified commerce. We're also going to break that down and make it real, because there's a lot of buzz in the industry around this term. We really want to take a moment to help everyone understand what that means in real terms, how you can leverage a strategy in that way, and then spend a little bit more time around the Shopify advantage as well, because we believe that that's one of the founding reasons why many brands and businesses are looking to partner with us when they're looking at a unified commerce approach. And then finally, we hope to leave you with some ideas and thoughts around things you can take back to your organization when you depart from this lovely expo later on today. So with that in mind, I want to take us back in time a little bit. For the history lovers in the room, this is the Royal Exchange and what it looked like in circa 1571. If you haven't been to the Royal Exchange, I recommend you do so. It's an iconic building here in the UK and in London. But this notion of unified commerce really isn't that new. In fact, we were doing unified commerce back in this time, but it was a little bit different. You know, shops have been bringing people together for hundreds of years. People come to this place. There's a range of products on offer, but typically it's via one channel, a retail channel. But customer convenience has always been key, and that doesn't change. And that's what's really driving this approach with unified commerce. But customer expectations are shifting. They now aren't going all to one place. They want to shop wherever they are at a moment that's convenient to them as well. And the other thing, we have all these technology advancements, but we shouldn't forget the human element, which can also make the difference in this. And that's why selling matters.
So we're going to stay on the history theme for a little bit longer. This is a snippet from 1888. And I was really curious to go back and have a look and see if way back when did retailers have similar problems then that we have now. So this was written by a store owner called Charles Doney. He had a shoe shop in Ottawa. And what I really liked about one of the essays he wrote, he was talking about the importance of customer service. And he also had this stock book method. It was the first time that he introduced a stock book to his business. And streamlining the customer experience and also the back office operations are just kind of two of the key improvements that we can deliver with unified commerce. So retail has certainly changed since then. And I don't need to tell you that retail is always evolving. We've gone from having a single channel when things were really simple. Slowly we added things like wholesale, B2B, online, with multiple channels that didn't really talk to each other. And then finally we arrived at omnichannel, which has been really successful. It's a big positive for the industry. We were able to get sales channels talking to each other. But there are also some challenges with omnichannel. Some of those challenges include the expense in terms of integration and time. And what we see with unified commerce is not only are all of our sales channels integrated, but we're also starting to integrate other systems like marketing tech stacks, supply chains, and analytics. So for us, unified commerce basically means a combination of all of those in a single platform without the integration headaches and expense. So let's take a closer look at what unified commerce actually is.
And so when Dave and I were preparing for this session, we were having a good discussion around what we felt would make this real for everyone and what we felt were the most important things to think about that can truly help move on a focus around unified commerce. And it really came down to these 3 points. The first one being one cohesive system that Dave mentioned. What I really mean by that is this ability to have this one single view of the customer, be that whether they choose to shop with you in store, be that whether they choose to shop online or through social, but really have access to that data and be able to see that across the business. The second thing, which kind of goes hand in hand with that, is helping businesses really simplify their operations. There's a lot of complexity that can come into the world of commerce. And so we're really looking to try and find ways to optimize the workflows that many businesses and brands we work with have, and really try and help them do things in an easier fashion and do them more quickly as well. And then the last one, which is really a culmination of the two that I've just spoken about, is driving that customer experience. I think we all recognize, and I referred to it earlier, that customer expectation is key. But how do we have a seamless touch point across all channels as a customer, as a consumer? I definitely notice it because you could walk into a high street boutique, start your journey there. You could then choose to search online and find a brand from that place through web search, or you could choose to purchase directly through Instagram. But the main thing and the most important thing throughout all of that is that journey is consistent. That's what's going to help build loyalty, and that's what's really going to help drive recurring customers to you. And so, again, Dave and I, whilst preparing for this session, we wanted to do a little bit of a talk about this, but we also wanted to show you something that was real as well. And so we've prepared over the next 5 minutes a couple of customer journeys which we think highlight the power of a unified commerce approach. And with that, I'm going to hand over to Dave to take us through the first one.
Okay, so I'd like you to introduce you to Jennifer, who's going to be our fictional customer for the next 5 minutes or so. So Jennifer has been looking on the online store. She's interested in purchasing a hoodie. And our store is using Google local inventory ads. So she's been surfaced a product that she really likes. And we've also recommended a store nearby where it's available. So let's dig into it and have a look at what this looks like. Before we do, kind of the 3 things we want to highlight here in terms of impact is we're trying to offer more flexible buying journeys, building stronger relationship with customers, and creating more upsell opportunities. So Jennifer's on our online store, and she's going to search for her hoodie. I think she's going to find a green one, which is suitable for Shopify.
We like green.
Yeah, we like the green. She picks medium, and she's just going to add this to the cart. Now, Jennifer's kind of in a hurry. She wants to pick this up. She doesn't want to wait on it to be shipped, so she's going to select the local pickup option. She knows she can get that within the next 2 hours, and that really suits her. She picks the location where she's going to pick it up, and she's going to check out. So local pickup is like a feature that's native to the Shopify platform. And the view we're going to see next is what staff are looking at in store when Jennifer calls in. So we can see here the pickup notification. So staff get notified when there's a pickup order. They're going to click in and have a look at the order, start getting it ready. But one of the key things here is looking out for upsell opportunities. We know the customer is coming into the store, so we know we have an opportunity to upsell to them. And the green hoodie happens to be part of a set, and we're going to have a look at that soon. Before we do that, the staff are looking at Jennifer's profile. So with Unified Commerce, we have very rich customer profiles. So we can see how long Jennifer's been a customer for, how much she spent. And we also have some nice additional information here. So Jennifer's birthday is coming up. So we're going to add a nice note to the cart and maybe throw in a pair of socks. So now staff are in a good position when Jennifer comes in, armed with a lot more data that will make it helpful to create a cross-selling or an upselling opportunity. So we're sending a notification now just to say that the items are ready. And we're going to get ready to start our upselling. Long dramatic pause.
Build the tension, Dave.
Yeah,
Build the tension.
Okay, so we see we already have the hoodie in the cart. And Jennifer's really happy with that. She's come in, she's picked up the order, and now we're explaining to her that we've also got a matching beanie and some matching gym pants that she might be interested in. Jennifer loves both. She's really keen to purchase them. She ideally wants to take them both with her today, but unfortunately only the beanie's available in stock. But not to worry. With Unified Commerce, we've got endless aisle in terms of inventory. We've got a full view of our inventory across all our locations. So we can see that the gym pants, although not in stock in the store location, we have them available. So what we're going to do here is a split cart. We're actually splitting to delivery on a single cart. We can accept payments where one item is going to be carried out and the other item is going to be shipped from the warehouse. So this feature means that we never have to lose a sale when an item's not in stock. We're just going to search for Jennifer here, or add her to the cart. Get her shipping address details. And now we're ready to check out.
Another dramatic pause.
I love the dramatic pauses, yeah. It's a simple transaction. We're just going to check out for cash.
Who uses cash anymore?
We still use cash in Ireland, yeah. Okay, so receipt options are kind of typically standard. We've got email receipt, SMS receipt, or a printed receipt. And that should bring us to an end of our first customer journey. Okay, so I hope you kind of got that. What we're trying to highlight here is just how we can simplify challenging workflows through Unified Commerce. The next one, Michaela, you're going to love this. I know you really love returns.
How did you know, Dave? Short story before Dave continues. I think returns are such an important moment for any purchasing journey, because I recently got really put off of a brand because they essentially forgot to refund my money when I returned to them. And that gives me hesitancy. I think we all have experienced our own little moments of when we choose to repeat purchase with brands, particularly for brands where your main channel is online. That returns process is so important. And so, yeah, Dave, you're right. I don't really like returns, especially when they don't go too well. But sorry, back over to you.
Yeah. So this workflow we're going to look at again, it's a slightly complex workflow, but we didn't want to show you just a standard return. So in this scenario, who's our customer this time? Jane, our fictional customer for this one. So Jane has received a gift from her friend. She doesn't particularly like it. She actually already has this gift. So she wants to go back to the store, do a return, get a refund to a gift card ideally, but she doesn't have a receipt. And that can be a problem. So let's jump in here and have a closer look. Like, returns are typically challenging for customers. It can be frustrating, and for retailers it can be costly. So by making the whole returns process a lot smoother, we're trying to reverse logistics costs. And we can see here we've pulled up the product. We didn't actually have the receipt, but we were able to type in the name of the customer who originally purchased the gift, start the refund, and here we're just going to restock the item at the location, which is really helpful. We don't have to return it to the warehouse, although we easily could return this to the warehouse if we wanted it by adding a tag, which would automatically change the fulfillment location. We've got some lovely reasons here that we can capture, which our analytics team can drill into. And like we said, we're just going to refund this to a gift card. On Shopify, gift cards are truly omni-channel, so it can be used both online and in-store. We've got the option of a digital gift card or a physical gift card. And one thing we want to do also is just change the name of the recipient because we're refunding this on the original customer who placed the order. We want to change it to Jane's name, so she received the gift card. And that's essentially it. It's a really easy process in terms of doing that return and refunding to a gift card. And this is all made possible by having order data, customer data, and inventory data all in the same platform. We're just checking here to make sure that the gift card is actually attached to the profile. In case the customer loses the gift card receipt, we can also always email them another copy.
Very helpful.
Okay, so that was just one of the other workflows we want to show how unified commerce can make challenging workflows a lot more simpler. But don't just take it from me. Recent studies have highlighted the benefits of unified commerce. And particularly, Accenture recently found that over 75% of customers who are more likely to make a repeat purchase if stores recognize them by name or if they use their product recommendation based on previous orders, like under order purchase history. So one brand that does this really well, it's an iconic brand, is Belstaff. Since its founding in 1924, so 100 years ago, Belstaff's focus on quality, comfort, and protection has seen their products worn by icons from Steve McQueen to Kate Moss. And Belstaff have many, many loyal customers. But they wanted to modernize their commerce strategy in order to reach new audiences. But something was holding them back. So one thing they really needed to look at was how do we get the customer experience on our online store and in our physical stores, how do we make that consistent? And the existing tools that they had couldn't do that. So on Shopify, when Belstaff adopted a unified commerce approach, they were able to immediately get really valuable insights. So they were able to build rich customer profiles that drives impactful marketing. And just
almost so seamless.
Yeah. So some of the key improvements that Belstaff saw was a significant decrease in the total cost of ownership, increase in the speed to market, and they also saw a substantial increase in conversion on both their online store and their physical stores. So by now, I hope you're starting to get really interested in how Shopify can help you with unified commerce.
Thanks, Dave. I think Belstaff are a great example of a brand who chose Shopify for this advantage. There are many reasons why a lot of brands choose Shopify and choose them as a partner for growth. But I wanted to try and take a moment to really distill down, I think, some of the key reasons I see day in, day out, and some of the reasons that my team also see as well. The first being that our platform architecture at its core is architected for multiple channels, whether it's you're selling online, whether you have a wholesale channel and you're driving B2B sales, whether you have an in-person experience and you want to leverage a POS in-store opportunity, we can help with that. Also, similarly, we have strong integration and facilitate into things like marketplaces. And again, similar with social media. So there is a real focus on the platform that we build for all channels so that we can help you sell wherever you need to. And that, again, going back to my point earlier, that is a great experience for your customers. The second point really is that, and Dave kind of highlighted through some of the customer journeys, this really allows Shopify to provide that one customer data set. And again, you know, this is a game changer for a lot of brands, and I think we're helping them realize that focus that they have. and helping them to truly try and get towards, the vision they have, the growth aspirations that they're trying to achieve, regardless of the channels that they're operating within. And then finally, one which often gets overlooked is implementation costs. If you have a platform at the core, which is architected to deliver across all those different channels that I mentioned, we are finding that when we're partnering with brands, they're saving significant costs on integration, they're saving significant cost on implementation, because things are just generally a bit more easier. I'm not saying it's totally easy and there aren't barriers that we need to overcome, but there are really good benefits and cost savings that brands are making when they're moving with Shopify. So to kind of wrap up and finish up, there's a couple of thoughts that Dave and I wanted to lead you with. There's a lot of reasons that we've highlighted, and hopefully some of them resonate with you all, as to why brands are choosing to focus on a unified commerce strategy. One thing I wanted to highlight on here is this point. I think we all feel it. People are choosing very wisely where they spend their money. Again, this just means that experience that needs to be provided is one that is A-star. For a number of reasons. And a lot of the things we've talked about, I think, are helping contribute towards making that the best experience it can be. So what are the next moves? There's some thoughts here from Dave and I. Invest in a unified commerce approach. However that looks and feels to you, hopefully we've given some ideas, but there is a trend, and a lot of brands we speak to day in, day out, this is where they're focusing their energy. The second one is a no-brainer, but I never like to leave anything unobvious, and I never like to assume, but prioritize the customer experience. The customer is king. And then finally, we started with this, and I think it's a really important point. There's a lot of discussion and talk around the power of technology. Let's not forget the power of human interaction when combined with that as well, because it can also make the difference with your customers. And so with that, I'd like to thank you all again for listening. Any questions, please do share just after the session or over at the booth here. And I wish you all a good journey onwards. Thank you.
Thank you.